The heat was brutal that day, a scorcher Derek had called it. Kitti could feel the sun pressing against her skin like a heavy hand. Sweat clung to the back of her neck and soaked through her shirt as she struggled to keep pace with the others. Still, she forced herself to move confidently, sweeping her cane ahead of her without hesitation. Every solid strike against pavement or debris felt like proof. Proof that she could do this. Proof that she didn't need protection anymore. Derek had watched over her ever since he found her alone in the wasteland years ago. Part of her would always be grateful for that, but she was grown now. She was tired of feeling caged. The heat thickened every smell around them. Rotting bodies baking in the sun, gasoline siphoned from dead cars, smoke drifting somewhere in the distance. Beneath it all lingered this sharp sulfur stench of something like rotten eggs. It turned her stomach. Click, click, click. "We've got a couple rotters up ahead," someone called back. "All right," Derek answered. "We'll cut through the alley. It's too damn hot to waste energy fighting if we don't have to." "Sounds good." Kitti listened carefully as low growls drifted toward them. Wet, hollow, hungry. Then the dragging shuffle of feet. 3 rotters. Not many compared to their group, but Kitti stayed quiet and followed Derek into the alley with the others. She had never actually seen the undead before. The world ended the same day her vision did. The group slipped into an abandoned shop to search for supplies or signs of life. Sometimes survivors left notes behind. Messages scratched into the walls. Names, directions, pleas for help. Tiny pieces of humanity refusing to disappear. Kitti stood still for a minute as the others searched around her. The memories came flooding back anyway. Gunshots cracking through apartment walls, people screaming in the streets. Cars jammed bumper to bumper while horns blared endlessly in panic. She remembered her parents grabbing whatever they could carry before dragging her into the chaos outside. Everyone had been running toward the bridge that led out of the city and into the countryside. Families carrying bags, children crying, people abandoning cars and homes and every piece of the lives they used to have. Kitti remembered the backpack bouncing painfully against her shoulders as she ran beside them. The rotters reached the storefront window. Tap, tap, tap. The sound snapped her out of the memory. Kitti moved toward the shelves instead, running her fingers across dusty surfaces. Boxes, bottles, empty wrappers. She picked things up, shook them gently, then set them back down. Nothing useful. Click, click, click. "There's nothing here," Derek announced. "Let's move." "The rotters are at the front door now," another voice warned. "We'll have to deal with them." Kitti straightened slightly. "Can I try?" she asked. Silence filled the shop. "I can do it," Kitti said, jaw tightening. She was used to this by now. The hesitation, the doubt. "I can kill all of them myself." A few quiet chuckles spread through the group. Kitty's grip tightened around her cane until her knuckles hurt. "While I believe you could," Derek said carefully, stepping in before she snapped at anyone, "there's enough to go around. Let's not get reckless." "At least one," Kitti demanded. A heavy sigh came from somewhere near the door. "All right. Bridget and Ron, open it and only take down 2. Leave the 3rd for Kitti." Excitement rushed through her so fast she almost smiled. Finally, a real chance to prove herself. She pulled a knife from her belt and waited. The shop door creaked open. Low growls immediately poured inside, wet and hungry. Squelch, squelch. 2 quick kills. "You're up," Bridget called. Kitti stepped forward, heart hammering hard enough to make her chest ache. Click, click, click. Her free hand slid across the wall until she found the cold metal handle. She collapsed her cane and shoved it into her back pocket, so both hands were free if things went wrong. The knife stayed raised near her face. She cracked the door open and lifted her knee instinctively, bracing herself. She had never killed one before. "Easy," Derek said calmly behind her. "He's right in front of you." "I got it." A guttural gurgle sound inches from her face. Goosebumps crawled up her arms and across the back of her neck. She could hear it breathing, if the dead could even breathe. Wet, ragged, rotting. Kitti judged the distance as it lurched toward the opening. She thrust the knife forward. The blade sank into the flesh with a sickening squish. But the growling didn't stop. She missed the head. The rotter jerked violently against the door, snarling louder now. Kitti yanked the knife back before it could grab her arm. Her pulse thundered in her ears. She opened the door wider and drove the knife higher this time, aiming above the sound of its growling. She made contact. The knife punched through with a sharp crack, and a growling stopped instantly. The rotter's weight slumped forward against the door frame, dragging her arm down with it before she jerked the blade free. The corpse collapsed onto the pavement outside with a wet thud. For a second, nobody spoke. Then came a few claps from behind her. "Good job," Derek said. Kitti couldn't stop the smile pulling at her face. "Impressed?" Derek let out a small laugh through his beard. "It wasn't bad for a first try." "Not bad." Kitti rolled her eyes slightly but still wiped both sides of the blade against her jeans before sliding it back onto her hip. Then she snapped her cane open again with a flick of her wrist. "I could have taken all 3 of them." "It's a lot different out in the open," Ron said. "One mistake out there and they'll swarm you." "Then teach me," Kitti shot back immediately. "I can do it. You just saw me do it." Silence settled over the group. Boots shifted against broken tiles. "But Derek, she's 18 now," Derek interrupted firmly. "She needs to know how to protect herself." Kitti latched onto hope. "But not out here yet, Missy," he added. "We start back home first." For a minute, Kitti just stared blankly ahead, almost afraid she heard him wrong. Then excitement rushed through her so suddenly it made her dizzy. Even after her shaky first kill, he was finally giving her a chance. A real one. "Deal," she said quickly, unable to hide the grin in her voice.